Joining us is former Australian great Brett Lee. Brett, thank you so much for being here on Times Now with us.
Pleasure. Nice to be here.
Brett, starting straight away and putting you in a spot, we have a very cracking IPL final ahead of us. Rajasthan Royals, the first season winners, and Gujarat Titans, the first time finalists. Who are you picking as your IPL winner?
Well, it's a bit like who's your favourite child. It's very hard to pick. A bit like splitting hairs at the moment. Look, from one, there's one part of me that would say I would love the Rajasthan Royals to win because to honour the late and the great Shane Warne. He left that legacy. He started the whole process. Back when it first kicked off, and obviously losing him a couple of months ago. And I think the players, as we've seen throughout the IPL, have dedicated a lot of the wins to the great Shane Warne. So there's part of me that goes, I really hope that Rajasthan Royals win for Shane Warne, but also for their own team environment. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say the Gujarat Titans. I just think that they look very strong. They're a well-balanced team. They're fresh in the IPL. It's their first year under Gary Kirsten, Ashish Nehra. So I have to go the Titans.
Talking about Rajasthan Royals a bit, Joss Buttler, he's in the form of his life, you'd say, Brett Lee?
Joss Buttler? Absolutely. Look, he's a terrific player, the type of guy that has understood exactly what he has to do in this format of the game. And he's proved that, the three or so hundreds that he's got, when he's gone big. He's grafted and actually built the innings perfectly. The times he's missed out, he's fine. He's actually understood the reasons why he's missed out and countered that and become a better player. So I'm super impressed with him, and he was looking forward to try and dominate again tomorrow night.
And Gujarat Titans, I think the good thing about that particular team is that they're not dependent on one player. If it's not Rahul Tewatia, it's going to be Hardik or Shubman. You have Rashid Khan in bowling. You have Mohammad Shami, Lockie Ferguson. So they have, players who can perform as a team and not just one player.
Yeah, but look, all those names you've read out, from Hardik Pandya to Rashid Khan to, all those top quality players, they're all match winners. But you're right, they haven't just relied on one name. It hasn't just been, if this person doesn't get runs or if that person doesn't take wickets, then they're not going to win. But what I like about the Titans is, as you said, and I totally agree, they're a well-balanced team. And if one person misses out that got runs last game or the game before, then you know that there's other guys that can fill that gap or that void. So that's very important. And I always say that's what makes a great team, is that when you get back your players, and whoever's not, it will be tomorrow night. It could be the Titans' night.
And Brett, there's been a lot of talk and in fact criticism about the kind of performances that have come from Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli especially, a lot of former greats saying that they should take a break, recharge themselves and then come back. Do you think sometimes taking a break actually helps?
Yeah, look, I think it does. I've said that previously, and I think that, when we're talking about the top echelon of players, and let's be honest, Kohli is an absolute superstar in all formats of the game. Now, I personally want him to do well and to score runs, and I would have loved RCB to be in the final tomorrow night, but unfortunately, he missed out. He's obviously a bit disappointed, the fact that him and his men haven't got the chance to reach the final. But it's not through lack of trying. And the great thing, and what I want the people and the viewers and listeners to understand, is that Virat Kohli works harder than anyone. You see him in the gym. You see him at training first. The way that he trains, the way that he feels and throws himself around, he's always last to leave. So it's not through lack of wanting to win, or lack of trying, or lack of, that effort at training. He does above and beyond what he has to. But sometimes maybe he can probably do too much. So maybe he just needs to clear his head, get away. Because at the end of the day, cricket's just a game. It's a sport that we all love and grown up watching. Maybe just get away, turn your phone off for a week and just do nothing. And that might help him.
And Brett, we've had a find of the IPL, which is Umran Malik. He has been bowling very, very, good pace. And if you've observed him, what do you make of him? He's now also in the Indian team that will play against South Africa in the T20 series. So he's really come good in this IPL.
He has. He's been a great find, and not only for his team, but a great find for the Indian setup. Now, whether it's T20, 50 over, or even test match cricket, Umran Malik is the type of bowler that runs in and bowls over 150 Ks. So I'm super impressed by him. I believe he can go faster. It's almost like when you look at where he comes from and the background and so young, he's been so impressive the way that he can run in flat out and deliver a ball at over 150 Ks. Because trust me, I've done it for 20 years. It's so hard. It's probably the hardest thing in cricket
What's
to do.
your one piece of advice going to be for him?
You have to have a great work ethic. You have to be able to be a good sprinter, which he is. You have to be able to have a high pain threshold. Someone a little bit crazy, I reckon, as well, being a fast bowler. But you've got to be able to enjoy it and realise that there will be days where you go for runs. Don't read the press. There'll be times when the hardest thing is that when you're a fast bowler, everyone straight away looks up at the speed gun. They're looking at what's happening at the field. Oh, he's only bowling 144 Ks. So the pressure's on him straight away. Whereas a medium fast bowler can sit in that little pocket of 132 Ks, 134, and no one even cares. But a super fast bowler at the top end will always be under scrutiny to try and bowl over 150 Ks. But hey, it's great when it happens.
But I know we are pressed for time, so I have one last question for you. The T20 World Cup this year comes to Australia, and I'm sure there are going to be exciting times in Australia.
Australia Jitiga. What do you think? You think India? In all honesty, look, I think the host nation, wherever you play cricket, whoever hosts it, on this occasion, it's the Aussies. I think we've got a strong side, obviously, with what happened recently. I think the wickets will definitely suit us. But India's best chance, I believe, in Australia are a great top four that obviously can score some quick runs, but fast bowlers. So I reckon Umran Malik might, play a huge role over and back in Australia.
He might be on that plane to Australia.
Get him on the plane. Get him at the front of it in first class. Look after the fast bowlers.
Thank you, Brett, for your time. It was lovely speaking to you on Times Now.
Nice to see you. Take care.